VBN, The Rich Video Blog Network, home to weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, professional wrestling video blogs, entertainment video blogs, top 10 list of everything and anything, and tons more. Collection of my work going back to June of 2014 on Facebook, YouTube, and other social media websites. RVBN, the only video blog on the internet that matters. Time now is 5:36 in the afternoon on Thursday, January 19, 2017. Good afternoon, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your second video blog of the day. It was a nice day out today, about 40 degrees. It was sunny part of the day. Then before the sun set, it clouded over, but no rain or snow fell, which is a good thing. Going to warm up this weekend. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Oakland Raiders have filed relocation papers to move to Las Vegas. There's going to be a new digital over-the-air network that's slated to be launched in the second quarter of 2017. It's called Flex TV, which is going to show movies. And sad news to report out of Hollywood, actor Miguel Ferreira passed away at the age of 61. So prayers to his family in this time of need. And that's it on the news from the RVBN Newswire. Be back in a flash with my second video blog subject of the day. America runs on Dunkin' Donuts. Every time you go to Dunkin' Donuts and you get a receipt for coffee or iced coffee or food or anything that you make a purchase for, keep the bottom of the receipt to fill out a survey to get any type of donut. That's good. So fill it out and get yourself a free donut. Back! My second video blog subject of the day is about the review of how the 2017 Baseball Hall of Fame balloting results. Yesterday, 3 players were elected into Class of 2017 Baseball Hall of Fame by the sports writers, the Baseball Writers of America, Jeff Bagwell, Tim Raines, and Ivan Rodriguez, Irod, and Pudge Rodriguez. And here's the analyst of the results. Jeff Bagwell got the most percentage of votes, approximately 86.2%. This was the 7th year Jeff Bagwell was on the Hall of Fame ballot. He was one of the best power-hitting first basemen of all time. Hit over 400 home runs, driven over 1,500 RBIs in 1994. Most valuable player for the National League. Played his entire career. The Houston Astros. Suspicions that Jeff Bagwell was a PED user, but he never flunked the test. Took 7 tries for him to get into the Hall of Fame. Also, Tim Raines, outfielder who played the majority of his career with the Montreal Expos. He was one of the best leadoff hitters of all time. Behind Ricky Henderson, stole over 800 bases. This was the 10th and final year that Tim Raines was eligible for the Hall of Fame, and he started on the ballot in 2008 with only 24% of the votes. It actually went down to about 21, but it went upwards soon after that because of all the sabermetrics. He got 86% of the votes. And the third inductee by the baseball writers is Ivan Rodriguez. He finished 3rd. Got approximately 76% of the vote, which was over the threshold of 75. Irod was one of the best catchers of all time, playing his majority of his career with the Rangers. He had the most hits of any catcher in history and the most games caught. In 1999, most valuable player for the American League. Suspicions that Irod used PEDs, but he never flunked a drug test. And Irod's the first catcher to be to get a first ballot Hall of Famer since Johnny Benz. It's the only one this year, first time inductees. And the other players and pitchers on the ballot who failed to get the 75% of the vote as follows. Trevor Hoffman, closer, got 74% of the vote. He was only 5 votes short to get inducted. Trevor Hoffman was the closer for the San Diego Padres for years. First relief pitcher to get 500 and 600 saves. Second time that Trevor was on the ballot. And there's a guarantee that next year he's going to be inducted. Also, finishing 5th this year on the Hall of Fame ballot, first time eligible, Vladimir Guerrero, outfielder who played the majority of his career with the Expos and Angels. Vladdy got approximately 71.6% of the vote. And this is a good showing for Vladimir. He was only 15 votes short to be inducted into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot. He's definitely going to get in next year. Probably the biggest jump of the Hall of Fame ballot this year, finishing in 6th place, was designated hitter Edgar Martinez, who played his entire career with the Seattle Mariners. He got approximately 58% of the vote, and 8th year he's on the ballot. But time is running out for Edgar Martinez. He needs approximately 17% more of the vote for the next 2 years, and he might get there. And the biggest other surprises that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens cracked the over 50% threshold. Both Bonds and Clemens, this is the 5th time they're eligible for the Hall of Fame, and cracking 50% of the vote is a great accomplishment. Within the next 2 to 3 years, both Clemens and Bonds will be getting the 75% vote needed. And another player who reached over 50% of the vote, approximately 51% of the vote, Mike Mussina, pitcher, won 270 games between 1991 and 2008 with the Yankees and the Orioles. Mike will probably get the necessary votes to get into the Hall of Fame within the next 6 years. That's the 4th time he was on the ballot, and he started off only about 20% of the vote. So he's on his way to Cooperstown. A big drop was Curt Schilling, pitcher who pitched for the Phillies and the Diamondbacks and Red Sox, among others. He went down from 52.2% of the vote in 2016 to approximately 45% of the vote, mainly because he said some stuff on Twitter that was political, and many writers didn't like that. And this is halfway through the 10-year eligibility for Curt Schilling. It's a downward trend for him. It doesn't bode well for him to get voted into the Hall of Fame by the sports writers. Another player who is now off the Hall of Fame ballot is Lee Smith, who was the 15th and final year of eligibility. He's the last player to be 15 years on the Hall of Fame ballot because he was grandfathered in. Lee Smith was one of the best closers in Major League Baseball history, appalling his 478 saves. He held the save record for over 13 years. He only got about 30% of the vote, and it's kind of sad. I think the biggest knock about Lee Smith that he didn't have a team that he would be identified with because he bounced around from team to team. And another player who was on the Hall of Fame ballot for the first time, Manny Maravich, outfielder, who played for the Indians, Red Sox, Dodgers, White Sox, and Rays. He got approximately 24% of the vote. But Manny's a two-time PED flunker. He flunked a test. I'm very surprised he got this amount of votes. I thought his vote total would be real low. He has 9 more chances, but I don't think he's going to get more than 25% of the vote. Another player who is on the Hall of Fame ballot for the 7th year, Larry Walker. He approximately got 21% of the vote, and time's running out for him. Was one of the best hitters in the National League during the 90s, but that was aided by Coors Field. Another player who is on the Hall of Fame ballot the 8th year, Fred McGriff. Fred McGriff got approximately 20% of the vote. It doesn't look good for the crime dog to get voted into the Hall of Fame by the sports writers. That's so sad because Fred had 493 home runs. If he just stayed around to hit 7 more home runs, he'd probably be in the Hall of Fame. Another player who was on the Hall of Fame ballot for the 4th time, Jeff Kent, one of the best second basemen of all time. Low vote total, approximately 16% of the vote. And it's sad because he hit the most home runs of any second baseman in history. Plus, he won the 2000 National League Most Valuable Player Award. I don't think Jeff Kent's going to go to Cooperstown by the baseball writers. Another player on the Hall of Fame ballot this year, the 2nd year he's on, Gary Sheffield, approximately about 12% of writers voted for Gary Sheffield, and he had over 500 home runs, but linked to PEDs. He's never going to get in by the baseball writers. Another closer, Billy Wagner, 2nd time on the ballot. His vote total went to approximately 10.2%. Billy Wagner had a lot of strikeouts as a closer. But he's probably not going to get voted in the Hall of Fame by the baseball writers. But he might have a little bit of a boost next year. And Sammy Sosa, who was part of that home run chase in 1998, which we know it's fraudulent because both him and McGwire were juicing. Sammy Sosa got 8.8% of the vote, approximately 3.8 more to stay on the ballot. 5th time that Sammy Sosa's on the ballot. He has 5 more chances to go. He's not going to reach the 75% of the vote, and he's in danger of being dropped off the ballot if he gets the under 5%. Players who did not get 5% of the vote, who are dropped from eligibility from the writers, Jose Posada, who was a catcher for the New York Yankees during their dynasty years. He only got 17 votes, roughly 3.8%. Not enough. Disappointing that I thought Posada would get at least 5% of the vote. He was a decent catcher. And other players getting a couple of votes were Edgar Renteria, Jason Varitek, and Tim Wakefield. Such players like J.D. Drew, Pat Burrell, Derek Lee, Matt Stairs, and Arthur Rhodes, among others on the Hall of Fame ballot, got 0. And this year's Hall of Fame ballot with the upswing of Bonds and Clemens, I think the baseball writers are having a stance that of the players juicing, with the suspicion that Mike Piazza, Juiced, who's already in the Hall of Fame, and the suspicions of Jeff Bagwell and Ilod Von Rodriguez, there is hope that Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens could eventually get voted into Cooperstown, and maybe Alex Rodriguez, who's eligible for a Baseball Hall of Fame for the first time in 2022. There's hope for them. And that's about it on that. I'll be back with the third and final video blog of the night, which will be about the top 10 list of the top 10 best sports mascots of all time. Like I always say to end these video blogs, keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Brennan guy. Julie is News 6, Orlando, Florida. Julie has the best legs in Orlando, Florida, and she's my favorite weather lady. And one of these days, I'm going to interview Julie on my video blog. It's going to happen. I'm one of Julie's biggest fans. You're the best, Julie. Molly Roseblond of WCCO Oxen has nice legs. Molly has the best legs in the Twin Cities. And that's one cute lady blonde I would love to interview for my video blog sometime in the near future after Julie. Elizabeth Hot, So Sunny, she's the best. Amy Sweezy's awesome Amy. Linda Church of WPIX, Channel 11, New York. Such a Rocky Cougar's got the best legs in New York City. Barbara Gibbs of ABC 11 has that sweet Southern accent. Best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. And Lynn Claire of WHDH Channel 7 in Boston is such a sweetheart, and she's got the best legs in Boston. And in the words of Dee Patel last week, no bus. See you later.